pDAI to $1.
Let's fucking go, baby.
Let's fucking go. Who's here for pDAI? Pedro, what's happening, man? How are you?
Good, and you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm excited as always. Things are about to get really, really crazy in crypto. Like, I don't think any of us are ready for what's about to happen. It's about to get crazy. The floodgates are opening. Things are just going to get absolutely insane.
Couldn't agree more, man. It's looking poised to pump.
You are the man. Poised to pump. All right. Hey, mute your, or is that me? Oh, sorry about the echo, folks. Chat, how is it going? I know everyone sounds absolutely excited about pDAI. There's just some amazing stuff. Pedro has some insights he wanted to share with us today. I know we got a lot of breaking news as well. I saw in the chat somebody mentioned that peg on Christmas Day. Some of you guys are getting pegged on Christmas either way. Listen, somebody in the chat said that there was news today that the Hartman voted. No, bullshit. I'm calling you. Send us a link.
True.
Send us. Send me the link. I was just on Twitter. I don't see it. Where?
It's decentralized me, so I think it's kind of true, I guess. I mean, I didn't check the address, but it seems the...
The P maker.
It seems the guy that took over the P maker. It seems it is the same address, I guess.
Okay, let's go look at this tweet. I got one here from pDAI to $1. She said,
Milady.
Milady. I told you. Okay.
Yes, okay. You'll understand. You'll understand soon.
Okay, let's go check this out. Let's go check it out. I guess we're gonna go right into. Okay. Not even any time to chit chat. That's how crazy things are. Okay. That's how things are going to be, by the way, for the rest of this bull run. Small talk is out the window, guys. Small talk is out the window. All right. The P maker has voted yes to collateral onboarding. pDAI's path to $1 inevitable. Okay, let's see. Let's see. The lady.
Milady.
Yes. Oh, the 7EAA. What? With 3-point sign P maker?
Yes.
Is it the one?
I think it's the one. I did a bunch of phenograms for my lady, but I cannot figure it out. My lady, why my lady? I don't get it. I like it, but I don't get it. I mean, I wish I did. It is what it is.
It is what it is. I was pondering the same thing a while back with the Milady wallet. Okay, so this is huge. We don't really quite know the ramifications yet. Hang on, let me see what happened. Okay. Let's
and
go.
And big shout out to Perfect Cell, G baby always. Go on, sorry.
No, what happened with you're late to the news? Dude, I was setting up this live stream. Of course, it happened in 30 minutes while I'm setting this up. I also made a pDAI video literally right before we went live. So I've been kind of busy for the last hour. And now I have to remake the pDAI video because now there's a whole lot more news to put in there. Yeah, I remember this clip.
Maybe it's...
That's what we're talking about.
No, the sound is breaking good, news. The music is good. Good music, by the way.
Yeah, it is. I get flagged for everything.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. I don't have any breaking news per se. Let me type in Milady. Let's see if there's a lot more. Everybody else is talking about this. Oh, it's going to bring up. Okay. Mm-hmm. Richard minted the maker to vote.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we got the Milady.
Came from the $300 million account, and it was able to mint more maker tokens. Richard's got all the tokens. If you can go mint tokens, go do it, bro, and go spoof all of us. So it minted more tokens. It minted 36.9, and then it voted yes. And it wrote the word Milady. Why would it write Milady? A lot of people, like Decentralized Me, says maybe it's mean top of the morning, as in Milady. And Fred, look, I think actually what's happened is, I think Richard's watched some of my videos, and I've spoken about the other cults that he's seen around, or anyone's seen around, and Milady's one of them. Okay, so he just said like Milady.
Look.
So it is. If you go to Milady's friends, what do? Milady's go to like every single post and they just spam Milady, 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 Milady. Like, okay, they just go spam it, Milady, Milady, Milady. Maybe he's just doing it as like a screw around. It's just like a word out here, you know. A lot of people have said that. Some people.
What do you think?
Nah, I don't buy that.
What do you think's going on here? The wallet had the ability.
I don't know, bro. It's yeah, I don't know why he wrote Melody, but it's weird, right? Like I don't know. I don't know if I'll get an idea or like I don't. But honestly, I don't. That just doesn't sound like sounds
But it's the
But
wallet.
that's-
I do recognize this. The
No.
70
I agree. It's the wallet.
Yeah.
I know that, but the only thing I'm saying is the Melody thing. I don't get it, right? I'm
Chap.
just curious, right? I'm just saying that Somi. I don't think Somi is right on the Melody thing, but he's right on the wallet thing, I guess.
Chat, what's going on? What's the Milady thing all about here? Thanks, Fugly Googly. Appreciate
Begging with
the
my
shout out.
lady.
Why is it so
Okay.
tiny? Did this chat box become really miniature here? What's going on?
Thanks, bro.
What? Yeah. I don't know how that thing shrunk so much. Let's see, it's like weird.
Yeah, and Teddy Bear is pumping a lot, by the way.
Teddy bear's pumping. Great.
Yes.
I go to make one video and the whole world goes crazy.
Everything, yeah, nice.
The wallet had the ability to mint. Yeah, I know this thing, but why do you put Milady there? pDAI 98 cents. They're called too. Maybe he wants to spam pDAI all over Twitter like them. Interesting. That would be interesting strategy.
Could be.
This is something, man. This is a moment. This is a moment. Okay, let's finish the rest of this and we'll continue.
Oh, it can't be him because it's got 9mm DEX tokens and it's sold and bought a couple of stuff. Bro, how do you think Richard finds all the great things? He looks around. He obviously has coins in other places. He participates. So, I mean, like, look, man, if you can go mint more maker tokens, go do it, and then you can just basically send this thing and do a full retrace. But also, friends, like, bro, open your mind. Like, there's been 15 months of these rumors, and he's had 1,000 chances to tell you that he's not behind it. Bro, the coin hit 700 million market cap. It has literally flipped his other projects. He flipped eHex, it flipped Inc. Would you let another project on your chain flip your coins in liquidity and size and activity and mindshare if you weren't behind it? Would you actually let that happen? Would you let them use your name? They're literally using your name. No, you'd say like, careful of these trash projects. I'm not behind any of them. I only like these specific coins. Why has he done that? You think he's stupid? Why would you let people literally come and rob you? They're literally inside his home and they're just robbing him. They're robbing his users. They're robbing all the participants. They're robbing the community. If it was fake, it can only mean one thing. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I have a theory. I think Richard is, heard our conversation, our previous conversation, and basically he was like, "Oh my God, I need to show everyone that it's me behind everything." I'm kidding. I know. I think yeah, it's definitely him. Like he probably is just like playing around. I'm sure it has meaning, but I don't know if we're gonna get it right.
Right.
Like probably down the road we'll understand better, I guess. But yeah, but it's definitely Richard, I think.
Well, I mean, I've been a cheerleader from the beginning. This is great. I don't know. Is this undeniable proof now for the rest of Pulse Chain and the Hexagons and the OGs, or are they still going to be in denial about this? Or is this now something they can bite into?
It's not undeniable proof. No,
it's not undeniable. You're right.
No, for them, no. The only thing that would probably be undeniable for them would be DOA, or somebody with a large sums of hex that we can link to DOA somehow. Participate in the vaults, right?
Right.
Yeah. And even then.
Oh, nice. Okay. Let's see. Got a beautiful. Looking good, looking good.
I like Watson ideas.
Oh, that's a
Malay in the
candle.
winter. Look into
And
the
I'm
character. Maybe.
and it's I mean I got to make the pDAI video I just made, but I was telling people you're not going to get you're not going to get one penny, and now I'm certain. I mean, look, this has been respected the whole way. I understand all the traders out there that are new. You just learned all the gadgets and wheels on TradingView, but it doesn't mean part of experience is knowing when something is going to play out or not. You know what I mean? It's knowing when the rules are going to be broken, and I just don't see this this little head and shoulders in here. It's about to be taken out, and it's going to be disrespected in a big way because we are going up, people. pDAI is going to $1. Nothing's going to stop it. If we're pegging or no pegging, it's going to $1 no matter what. I was in a little doubt before, Mr. Monty says, but after the Milady thing, I'm not as sure it's him now. We know he hates meme coins, and why would he promote a different coin? Okay, fine. Let's go back. Let's backtrack it. The wallet, 7EAA, I've known this wallet for quite some time. Is there a chance that this isn't his wallet? And
Yeah,
how
sure.
do
Of
we
course.
remember? Because we've been working on this for a year, and and I don't remember every detail. How did we know that the 7EAA was connected to the Heartman?
Because it made I mean it took over like PMaker and I think
Oh,
other
right. It was
protocols as well.
could somebody else have done that?
Yeah, of course. But you need to. But the right question I think is what's the likelihood that somebody else could have done it better than Richard? I'm not saying that it's not possible. Of course it's possible, but
Right.
it's the likelihood, right? Like
Yeah.
because I always come back to the same thing, which is like we know he likes to plan things ahead, right? He's not. He
He's
plans a
planned
lot. Like
many years ahead. Yeah. 100%.
that's what I'm saying. Like we know that he likes to plan things ahead, and he took his
Right.
sweet time building Pulse Chain, right? Like he took his
Right.
sweet time.
Right.
So I mean, I don't think it was due to technical issues, etc. I think it's more due to liquidity and protocol experiments that you gotta do to know if it's gonna work out or not, right? Um, and I'm not sure if we could dig deeper on the test nets that are available. Maybe there are hints there, but um, my point is like I don't think that you would leave these like everything up to chance, right, or to somebody else taking over and whatever, right? I think he is the guy behind it, right, because he's the
Right.
one who released the network, right? That's my logic, right? So yeah,
And
but again,
yeah,
could be
Fat
somebody
Sammy.
else, sure, yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's possible. I think it might be him. I think what Drew just said, maybe we can look into that, the symbolism of Milady. Fat Sammy, you're 100% correct. Smash those like buttons, people. This is actually a historic moment. I need to break open something to drink because no matter what, this is kind of a really big deal. Okay, and he did it with 3.6.9 Maker. Milady was beheaded. Is that correct? Interesting. I think we got to assume it's his team. It's his team, and maybe this is good for covering the tracks too. In the future, maybe he understands something about not being too connected to it, but letting us know it's him. Yeah, maybe. SAINTwolf and Pedro, question for you. But in hindsight, looking back, would you have been better if we'd invested exclusively in pDAI and not Pulse X and Hex?
Yeah, of course. Like if you knew the future, right, back then, but like nobody knows, right? That's the point. But yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, I wish I had bought way more pDAI, right? And
Yeah, of course, obviously.
I did make a big bet in it and did put a big bullet in whatever, but I didn't get anywhere near as much as maybe I should have. But it's impossible to say that crypto is so extraordinarily risky.
Yeah.
Fugly, I don't
Do
know.
you want to know my strategy? Like, and look, this is my strategy. It has been my strategy, since I don't know, probably since Richard Hart, I guess, since a little bit before Hex, but like since I understood Richard's mindset, let's say, and it's like you just need to find something like super early before everybody else. That's it, and you just need to hold for like a long time. That's
a
it's
big
not
part of
it's not
crypto.
hard.
Actually, most of the
I think
gains I
that's
got
it.
in the last bull run
That's
was that. I had
but it's
Matic
always this.
and
Look, and like to kind of prove this, I made a bet with myself, which was okay. I'm gonna and this was August 2023, so August last year, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna start a new wallet, right? And I'm gonna start it from scratch with $100 here on Pulsefin, right? Just to see if you know if it's actually possible, to make it big with like a very small amount, right? And like only with that wallet is like where is it? Let me just.
Look, crypto is really risky, and you don't know. You've been rug pulled, you've gone the wrong direction before. I think a lot of us have been burned before, who've been in here for a little while. So I
understand.
I put in what I thought.
Understand,
if I'm completely wrong about the pDAI narrative, I felt, and this was a year ago, looking back, I put in what I felt like. Let's say I totally fucked this up and I'm wrong, then I was like, I can make it up for in something else. But obviously hindsight's 2020. Look, I feel like as more and more evidence came out, but remember, as more and more evidence came out, the price kept going up. So now, it's true. Like, you wish you had bought earlier, but anyone who bought it cheaper doesn't want to buy it even more expensive than they already paid for it, right? So as the price went up, I did DCA some more, but at some point I was like, no, I can't, do more. And you got to have good risk management, and like nobody knew.
No, exactly.
For sure,
and the more people buy, like the more liquidity, like the less riskier, right? So but that's what I'm talking about. You don't need a lot of money, right? I was giving you the example that wallet that I started with $100, like it's worth now like 20K or something, and it's like. I started it like last year, like just as a challenge, right? My point is, like, it's very easy to do that. You just need to find something very early before everybody else, right? And pDAI was that case. Bear was that case. There's a lot, right? There's a lot.
Look, even now you can get 100,000.
Exactly.
Because you have a good feeling you're going to $1, even if it's just on the meme narrative. Let's say, forget the pegging right now, just on the meme narrative. Look at this. This is going to create so much hype. The price is going to pump.
Exactly.
It's possibly a more sure thing than most other memes in this situation, right? So you might as well hop on board. And when I was getting it, I felt the same, like Xblind said. I was like, yeah, you can get 100,000 or $1 million and just take your risk, right? It's a bullet, right? And so it's good. But
that's the right strategy. Why would you risk a lot of money or a lot of your portfolio in percentage terms, right? It makes no sense. Like, just like put like $10, $100, doesn't matter, right? Like a very small amount. And just find those tokens early. You just need to be like, you just need to have conviction, like believe in yourself, right? When I say believe in yourself, believe in your research, but you need to to understand what you're doing first, right? But if you do understand and you have conviction, it's so fucking easy, right? I don't get it. I don't understand why people are
a lot of people that got 100,000 or $1 million pDAI. Yeah, Rick, you're 100% correct. Or no, is it Real Millionaire Boys pDAI to 80 cents? Yeah, if you got 100,000 or $1 million, it gets to 80 cents. You'd be pretty happy, right? You got 80K or 800K. Feels like election day. We officially won. Yeah, I'm waiting for the God candle. I don't see one yet. Oh, somebody was waiting for Rick in 305. You're waiting for a penny. A lot of people are waiting for a penny because that's a video I made, because that's a technical target of this breakdown right here. Okay, so if you take this measured move, it comes down to 0.009 cents, and that is right here at the top of the old range high. Okay, and you've got a lot of untested areas, okay, through here. So technically it makes sense that this comes and gets retested. My problem is this support line ain't given away. And you're in that phase of the bull run where people get left behind. Let me show you Jasmine really quick. Okay, this is Jasmine. Giant head and shoulders. Okay, everybody's waiting to buy it down here in this range. Same thing. Here's a area of untested liquidity. You've got these giant vector candles. Total disaster waiting to happen. But guess what Jasmine decided to do? Look what it did. And all the people that were with their buy orders down here, they got screwed. Not only did you get screwed, but there was no time for you to get back on, because that's how fast the market maker moved it. All right, or maybe that's just how it worked out with liquidity and the bids or whatever. But I think same thing could happen with pDAI. You're better just you can wait for a penny, but how did it work out for these people who are waiting for a penny? Or and that's fair. Like, look, this is a massive head and shoulders, but you have to have the experience to understand where you are in the cycle and in the bull run. And that's what a lot of traders don't. They come here from the stock market and they're applying their thing, or a bunch of young guys that just learned how to use TradingView and they're very, excited about all these indicators. Doesn't mean they're just probabilities. And the narrative is up, and crypto likes to do this. and Jasmine people just got destroyed. And someone who bought up here, they did really well. Okay, so you don't want to be greedy right now, you know, especially when pDAI is going to $1. Why would you be greedy between 2 cents and like if you're lucky and you get it for $1? You know, let's say it even comes down here, we get a fake out and you get 0.13. You're taking a big chance because once this moves, you see on Jasmine, like I can't express how fast this is. This is really fast, you know, and all this people, there was a huge wall of probably orders down here. All right. And there's other charts I can show you that do that too. I mean, there's a ton of them. PTGC, look at this fake out right here. Okay. PTGC loves to fake people out. Okay. Look at that. And I think the same thing might happen. Maybe you have tiny break of this trend and then pop. But if this is true and people are just hearing about this, what time is it East Coast right now? No, I mean, it should be taking hold right now. I'm guessing a lot of people probably already bought, even probably people that were saying they weren't interested or didn't believe it. They secretly bought a little bag. You know they did.
The just in case bag, right?
They have their just in case bag ready to go. Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
5:31 Eastern. Yeah. So, I mean, look, everyone's still at work. They're driving home. They're like, they have it floored right now. They're driving on the margin. They're like, come on, let's go. I got to buy. It's possible. All right. Now, let's watch this candle. And in the meantime, Pedro, we had some things we wanted to address, right? They were pretty basic, but they were like things that needed to just be addressed. Okay. Let me go to the first one. What was the first one here? The first concern was the logical or whether or not RH is behind pDAI.
Sure.
Well, we partly answered that a little bit now.
Like a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Give
I
people
mean,
another quick insight besides the 7EAA wallet, why it's the hard man behind it. What convinced you for sure?
I mean, there's no for sure, right? I like you. I think in terms of probabilities, right? So it's not. It's like probably for me. It's like it's over 50%, and it's more than enough to believe, right?
Okay.
To believe hardcore, right? But that's like personal for me, right? Which like for somebody else, they might hear this and think, oh, he doesn't have like a strong conviction, right? And, yeah, sure. I don't. You might think that I don't have a strong conviction because I don't have enough data to convince me, right?
Right.
We have the on-chain data, which is very strong data showing that it's somebody from the core team most likely, okay, and we discussed that, and I think it is somebody from the core team. It could be related to Maria Tropal, all that, but I don't think so. I think it is Pulse Chain team, basically somebody. And again, and this for me it's even more simple. I always get back to this, but it is for me it's basic, right? Which is like the guy likes to plan, and I don't think that he would plan and like the world's largest airdrop if he didn't think of a way to value the tokens that he is creating. Like it makes no sense at all. Just create tokens like for the sake of creating tokens, bro. That's literally like that. Like, have you ever experienced that side of Richard Hart? I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm just saying that I don't know that side, right? I never seen that side, so I don't expect something that it is unexpected, right? I expect something that that I've seen before, right? And so, of course, I think of PRC20, especially pDAI, as a Richard Hart coin because of this, right? Because he created the network and he created the coin. So obviously, I think he has a plan for those coins. He didn't just created those coins like out of nothing just to keep people entertained, right? I think that makes no sense.
100% agree with you.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
So for me, this is my reasoning, right? I don't even need to go to the blockchain, right? For me, it's more simple. It's just like logical reasoning, right? Because I started to I had this idea way before I even started properly thinking about pDAI and if it was possible to peg, etc. Way before that, right? I just thought that I'm sure this guy has a plan, right, for the copies that he's creating, so I'm just gonna buy them. That was that was my logic, right? I didn't even think of about if it was possible to peg or not. I just thought. I'm sure he has a plan, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but now the plan, it is obvious, right? And that plan, I think, is like, make sure that people trade pDAI at $1, right? What we call the peg, because everybody is
Yeah.
expecting like the vault starts to operate, Richard like deposits tokens, and there is a peg. It doesn't work like
Yeah.
that, right? There's no magic that says not, now there is a peg, right? It
Yeah.
like when Richard said the market has
Wow.
decided, it's the same thing, right? The market will decide the peg, which is a ratio, right? So the market will decide at which ratio pDAI will trade against DAI. So, and for the ratio to be locked at 1, it means that probably there are mechanisms behind, like, pDAI, for example, like adding collateral minting the token, or DeFi protocols using pDAI, etc. So we need stuff that uses pDAI so that people don't just want to sell the pDAI, right? And that's where I personally think the ratio, the peg will come from, right? It's people, before that people will sell, right, the super high volatility, but like once we have, like, enough sellers, I think that, most of the people will just, like, hold on to pDAI in hopes that they can use it for DeFi, for example,
Mm-hmm.
or to deposit in LPs and make fees, right? Because
Right.
if it's trading, around 80 cents, I don't mind depositing in LP, against
Mm-hmm.
DAI, and just earn the fees, because it's okay, right? So I mean, once people don't fear impermanent loss. Okay, this is probably the best way to put it. Once people don't fear the impermanent loss, or once they believe that enough people believe that pDAI should be worth $1, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be trading at $1. That's it. It doesn't need any, like, because people are making a lot of assumptions about the OA, and for me, I like that. It's super positive, and um, it might be possible, right? Like assumptions like
Mm-hmm.
the OA is going to deposit, um, collateral tokens like Hex, PLS, etc., into the vault, right? Or even
Mm-hmm.
other tokens, right? Um, but I mean, I don't think pDAI that needs that to pay, right? That would be
Mm-hmm.
an awesome addition, but I think the goal of allowing the vault to work is not so that Richard can deposit the tokens, is so that we can deposit the tokens, right? So that we can build on top of, the pDAI, the PMaker protocol, let's say.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
be- and again, because people are expecting, and again, we should not have expectations, right? And people are expecting the way to deposit the tokens. I don't think that is going to happen, right? I think it might happen in a very small scale, right? But I don't think it's going to deposit like such, like, big sums to, over collateralize the PMaker protocol, because it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense, right? I think it's much easier for, the OA, if you want to do something, just to buy up the tokens on the market, right? Because he has been shown to do that, right? Before, with Hex, with Ink, with all these tokens, right? So
Yeah.
with PDA even. So I don't think, I think that makes more sense if the OA wants to be like a market maker, right, for Pulse Chain,
Yeah.
and it's
I mean,
it's
I
much
agree.
better. It's a much better use, for, in my opinion, of the funds, right, than just like
I
over
agree with
collateralizing.
you. I think he took a lot of heat early on when the meme cycle kicked in, which was the first. If I come over here to the CBBI index, you can see kind of what happened. We're at 80 again, by the way, which most altcoin runs happen around here, and you can see this was the spring when the meme coins went absolutely ballistic. Okay, around here, around 80, and we're up there again. Okay, and people were talking a lot of smack, like, "Oh, he didn't get it." Oh, here, oh, that's Teddy Bear. What do we got? That he didn't get it, and he thought P copies were going to be blah blah blah. And no, I think he thought very clearly about it. What people didn't understand is that you guys, not you guys, but just people sometimes they want to hit a target they can see. A man like the Richard Hart has a target that other people can't see right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So he knew that incentives would come into place, other wheels would go into motion, and all of a sudden, the target would all of a sudden become visible to other people. But he saw the target a long time ago. See, once, let's say, Pulse Wrap Bitcoin, the idea hits people that, oh, this could go to parity, and then pDAI starts going to parity. All of a sudden, all these P copies that people thought were worthless, all of a sudden a light bulb goes off and people go, oh, now there's a target, okay?
Exactly.
But the Hart man saw this target years and years ago. And I'm saying the same thing about this as I'm saying about, let's say, incentive token. People say it's just a farming token. It's like, dude, you don't understand the other factors that are going to come into play that are all of a sudden going to make you realize a target that he's seen a long time ago. You just don't see it yet. But when the farms change, when yields change, when all of a sudden other factors come into play, all of a sudden you go, aha, I get it. Because Bitcoin was an inflation token in the beginning. People were buying pizzas with it. How come people in 2010 or 11 saved their Bitcoin? People had hundreds of thousands. Why didn't they keep them? Oh, because it was just a farming token. You literally just ran your CPU and it pumped them out, and it was a reward for stabilizing the network. Because people didn't see the target yet. Satoshi understood it. And that's the difference between us and geniuses. They can see a target that doesn't even exist yet. Yeah? The Musk man has that capacity too, right? He sees a target none of us can even comprehend.
Sure. But yeah, I agree. I think when people are joking, I joke about that, Richard playing 5D chess, but I think it's
5D
actually
chess.
truth. I think he's like many moves ahead of us, and he should be, right? Like he planned the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
He should be way ahead of us, right? We are just discovering like the breadcrumbs that he wants us to discover, and that's the way.
100%.
That is like, I hate it when people expect Richard to do something like come out and just say Richard. I mean, like, guy, what the fuck are you doing here, bro? Like, no expectations. Remember that shit, right? This is a sacrifice. He's not talking to us, he's talking through the blockchain, and that is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, just leave it as it is, right? It's good like this way, I think.
Yeah. If one pegs, all have to peg. Everyone's getting pegged this Christmas. All right.
Yeah, because the narrative just kicks in, right? Like it's gonna, like, imagine like for the outside world, just hearing like they have free money somewhere, and that's everything is pegging, right? They just want to buy more of the counterparty, right? If they like the one that they have, they might like the other one too. I think Richard is fucking genius, bro. Like, and again, like like in a way, I think the next bull season, so 2028, 2030, whatever it is, you will see a lot of people copying Richard Hart, like copying this state system fork, right? Like, because this is fucking brilliant, right? If you can actually find a way to peg the coins through liquidity, through DeFi, whatever it is, man, like you just create like shitloads of money out of nowhere, right? It's not just one token. You create an ecosystem, like a valuable ecosystem out of nowhere, and that's absolutely insane, right? I think, personally.
Yeah. This is gonna be crazy. Fat Sammy, if you're out there, I sent you a message on X, by the way, man. Sorry, I didn't see that message till just a few minutes ago. But okay, so I mean, yeah, I think it's part of the plan. I think it's going to plan. I think it's crazy to think he wouldn't be behind it. I mean, the question is, people are still going to say like, okay, we don't know it's him. Okay, that's fine. It's going to be hard for us to keep pressing on that. Even after, let's say, Decentralize Me and 9iron, they've traced
thing.
Wallets. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's a carrot, right? You don't know the answer. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's why you still have a 50x to go. Because of that reason, right? So on the P copies too, a lot of you guys, there's other ones too. You can hunt them down. Other ones are running. Someone mentioned USDC, P Maker, the Aave was going. So you still have opportunities to find them. Once he comes out and says it, parity is going to be 2x away. Right now, you still have a 40x, 50x. Some are still 100x away. Hey Saint, did you know pDAI age is 555 days? Is it?
Everything is connected, bro.
Is it? No. No, I know you guys chat. You guys just love to come on here and mess with us, man. Is it true? Say, man, it's Richard.
It's beautiful.
It's Richard, man. All wallets buy and sell from each other. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing was let me see here. We talked about earlier. You said okay. People want to know, but how does it peg? Okay, people keep asking, right? And you said you wanted to talk about that, or you had some other revelation you realized something about the peg? No, you said a curse word when you messaged me, so I don't know how it sounded like you had a moment.
No, it's not really a moment. It's like, I think I tried, like, it's one of those things that I already tried to explain, like, in different ways, but like the message it's hard to get across, right? Because it's not something that it's that obvious, right? But because I built stable coins and I've been thinking about DeFi for a long time, so for me it's a little bit easier, right? Just because I've been thinking about this for longer, right? That's the only reason. and it's like you have two types of peg if you really think about it. You have the peg in terms of collateral, right? Like imagine the coins that you deposit into PMaker that are like 1.5 collateralized, so 150% collateralized, right? So
Okay.
that you have that type of peg, right, in terms of ratio between the collateral and the debt, right? So the amount of
Yeah.
pDAI in circulation and the USD value of the collateral tokens, basically, right? Okay, so that's the first type of peg, and then you have the liquidity peg. So $1, right? The ratio 1 to 1 between pDAI and DAI, right?
Yeah.
That type of peg, and those pegs are not related. I know that people, automatically assume that they are like related. They are related and they are not related, right? It's like they are related in the sense that obvious for obvious reasons. If you can liquidate your DAI for collateral. Let me just finish. If you can liquidate your collateral for DAI, right?
Right.
You can. You can liquidate your DAI for collateral. You can, go grab the collateral. So you have that rationale, let's say. But in this specific case of pDAI, it doesn't really work like that, right? Because you have 22 billion that are not collateralized. Then they cannot be collateralized. Even if Richard deposits, collateral into the vaults, those specific tokens are not collateralized because they cannot be, burned for the collateral, unless Richard decides, to borrow against the collateral for like whatever amount it is, and let the collateral go into liquidations, right? And it's just so fucking far fetched, right? It's like,
That's
no.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too far fetched. It
That's too
doesn't
far
work, right?
fetched. That's if
Exactly. So
yeah.
it's like, so we just have to understand that those tokens specifically are going to be uncollateralized, right? Even if maker receives the enough collateral to over collateralize the total supply of DAI in circulation, like in very technical terms, you cannot go grab the collateral using that pDAI, right, directly through the PMaker liquidations like mechanism, right? You cannot do that because like the vaults again are personal, so it's like the whole story, right? So I really think that it's very important that the vote passed, and that that the PMaker vault is working in the sense that you can deposit collateral and mint pDAI. That's super important, but I don't think it's important for the peg itself, right? Especially for pDAI. This case very specific, right? I think the peg will come from liquidity and from market making, like arbitrage bots, let's say. And
All
that's
right.
absolutely fine. And that's absolutely fine, right? I'm not like, and this is not like bearish in any way, right? It's not FUD. It's literally, it's absolutely fine, because people assume that you need the vault to be over collateralized, otherwise
Yeah.
you cannot peg. It's no, they're not even related in this case, right? Because again, like you cannot use the DAI to go grab the collateral, that specific DAI, right? So
Somebody's knocking.
yeah,
Somebody's knocking. Let me see
good,
what's
good.
going on.
Let them
You
in.
guys smash those like buttons. I got a special something. If everybody smashes those like buttons, I'm going to play you guys a video from the Heartman himself. This is a special video. Where is he at? What's up, buddy? How are you? What the? In the name of God? What's that all about? What? Are you a burn victim? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Did you guys lose the broadcast? Did it go out?
No. I can hear you, but I see I see you and I don't see the other guy,
Okay.
Sammy. Sorry.
Okay, hang on. Okay, give him a second. Okay, I'm gonna play this. Did they smash the like button? I'll play this.
Pedro.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's play this.
Um,
Okay, listen.
yeah.
If you're thinking of selling, I have some advice for you. Close your fist up real tight, then punch yourself in the sacks over and over again until you stop thinking like that. Hi everybody, Richard Hart here. If you're thinking of selling, I have some advice for you. Close your fist up real tight, then punch yourself in the sacks over and over again until you stop thinking like that. Hi everybody, Richard Hart here. If you're thinking of selling, I have some advice for you. Close your fist up real tight, then punch yourself in the sacks over and over again until you stop thinking like that. Hi everybody, Richard Hart here. If you're thinking of selling, I have some advice for you. Close your fist up real tight, then punch yourself in the sacks over and over again until you stop thinking like that. Hi everybody.
All right, yeah, this just came in today. Yeah. Can't wait for him to go live stream. We hear you. Okay, good. Okay. I'm exploring some of these features over here. All right. Let's go look back at that chart. Let's see what happened. Okay. Maybe we've already all bought. Maybe now it's a matter of
Yeah, exactly. No, it's
maybe it's just going to peg it.
We're fucked.
Okay,
We're
let's go
fucked.
back
Nah, I'm
to
kidding.
we're about to peg. We're about to peg any second.
Yes.
He says, let's see. Okay, come here. I want to look at, okay, so this is off what you're saying. So Richard will put the OA bags into personal vaults over collateralizing pDAI.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, and then we assume he'll use the SAC funds to pair with pDAI on ETH.
Okay, that could happen a little bit.
Yeah, he's saying there's some. Richard will actively arbitrage that pool.
Yes, 100. That 1,000%. And that is enough. That is enough for the peg to hold. That's it. That's what I'm saying. The third option is more than enough. You don't need the other two, basically.
That's what I assume. But okay. So here's what we know: Richard minted the pDAI supply. Yes, if we accept that the wallets originally shown from 9iron and Decentralizing work are accurate, or whether you believe it or not. That is something that I think a lot of us do agree on, that he minted the pDAI supply early on. Okay. Then he took over PMaker. Yes, this is something I accepted as true as well. Richard creates a way to continually pump the ecosystem by pegging pDAI. I also assume this as well, which is why I was bullish on pDAI for a long time, though I didn't fully understand all the mechanics. Okay, his alternatives put forward. Richard is reliant on marketing but hasn't streamed since launch. Yeah, we know that. Richard will do a single buy with the Ethereum. This is an interesting one, which I don't.
He hasn't shown that. He shows that he buys little bits, right?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Sure. Richard isn't participating on his own chain and has let a group of wallets take over all the key protocols and is relying on projects like liquid loans to bring adoption. What do you think about that?
No, that makes no sense.
These are alternatives. Yeah.
I also think that decentralized, we don't think that. Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't think that. Yeah.
So
no.
and from that list, and if you think about it again, from that list, the thing that matters the most is the third point from the beginning, right? It's the AMM bots, the market making services. Like the fact that somebody is actively buying the coin on liquidity and making sure that it's trading 1-to-1 against its counterparty, right? Or whatever pools there, doesn't matter. I'm just saying DAI because it's 1-to-1 and it's easy for everybody to understand, right? But that could work with PLS, which is much easier because he has both tokens, right? So right. So again, I think like the pegging is not the hard part, right? It's not the difficult part, right? It's making sure that enough people believe that before he does anything. I think that's the hard part, and that's what we've been achieving like tremendously well, right? So that's why I think I'm sure he's super proud.
Okay. I got a guest in the green room, and I don't know their current state of mind, but I'm willing to let them in for a minute.
I like that.
Chat, I think you might know this person. Maybe you can help me check their sanity. I think a lot of people are losing it right now over the pDAI thing. This was somebody who didn't believe in the pDAI narrative. Maybe they are now believing, but let's bring them in. Okay. And chat, show your love. Let me see if I can get this going. I have to.
Let me grab some water, by the way.
You gonna grab some water? Okay. 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 There he is. Mr. Fat Sammy. How you doing? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
No, Fat Sammy. Well, I don't think we're getting sound from him. Oh, here he is. Okay, hang on. Oh, that's weird. I lost him again. Fat Sammy, is that you? Can we hear you?
I cannot hear him.
Keeps cutting out. Hello. Do I have to hit this button? What's this button do?
There you go. You finally unmuted me.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah, nice.
That is
I
him.
can hear him.
Fat Sammy, what's going on?
Well, I just thought I'd wear my bank outfit today.
Let's.
I'm
let's
making
hear
more
about-
money than a drug dealer. I hope all of you are as well. And
Are you?
officially today with the pDAI pump, we're actually making more money than bank robbers. So that's why we're dressed up like this today.
There is
doing?
some truth to that. There is absolutely some truth to that. You know, I will say that that is a good look on you, my friend. You look quite handsome today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You do.
Thank you.
Chap, what do you think? He looks.
You look like you're ready to get pegged.
I look like
He took the words out of my mouth.
I'm about to be used to beg someone, but yeah, thank you.
Not in a bad way. How are you doing, Ben?
He is masking the pain because he didn't believe the pDAI at first. That's who said that?
Well, no,
Oh,
you know, I'll be
Devil
honest with you. Thank
Vivian.
God I joined the party by listening to you, Wolfie. So I'm
Did
happy
you?
today.
Did you?
Oh, you know I did. What did I say last stream? I said I
All
got
right.
involved because I saw your streams. But I will be honest with you. I'm a little bit salty I didn't get more though. Yeah, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But
Everyone's
luckily I
feeling
got my
that.
bag of teddy bears. I got my bag of teddy bears. So that's been
Yeah.
performing very well today. So I'm very happy.
Nice. Teddy Bear is going to do numbers. At this point, the upside for a lot of these other projects we know is infinite. Some people in chat were also mentioning that. But one good thing is you've got about 40x left for pDAI. So that's a nice, still quite juicy. Who doesn't want a 40x? I mean, come on. But Bear is looking phenomenal. What's it at right now, market cap wise? 100. Oh, good. My God. This is an easy 10. What do you think? 10 billion? It's 100x left. Easy. Could even go higher.
50 billion minimum.
Yeah, I sold my mother's wheelchair yesterday just to get into a teddy bear.
Did you? What kind of wheelchair was it?
It was one of those electric ones, you know. So I got some nice dollars.
Okay. You got some cash for it. Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Boom.
Did you see this video the Hardman put out?
No, which one's this one? Recent?
Yeah, here, listen.
Hi, everybody. Richard Hart here. If you're thinking of selling, I have some advice for you. Close your fist up real tight, then punch yourself in the sacks over and over again until you stop thinking like that. Hi, everybody. Richard Hart here. If you're thinking of selling, I have some advice for you. Close your fist up real tight, then punch yourself in the sacks over and over again until you stop thinking like that.
He's got a point. It is true. Sometimes you gotta punch yourself. Yeah. So what do you think, the Milady, man? Milady. This is. Are you convinced now, or is that what's going on? You really feel convinced, Fat Sammy?
No, I'm not convinced by shit, but I'm riding the pump.
You're riding the pump. Okay, gotcha. Okay, we were coming down here. Decentralize Me's post, and really, people want to know what happens now. Let's say we start making our way to $1. Sellers be gone. All right, we passed 80 cents successfully. How do we peg? How do we peg? How do we get pegged here? Pedro.
No, sorry.
Yes,
I
sir.
was looking at some memes. Did you guys watch the
fight, the
the
anthem?
the
Yeah,
bit
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Of course, it was awesome. It
Yeah.
was awesome. It was a draw.
No, yeah, but they're like the memes like of the highlights, man. It's the guys like just like resting and stuff. It's hilarious. Whatever,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Yeah, but again, man, I'm sure it's gonna peg. And I think like my reasoning is is fair enough in the sense that I don't even think that you need the collateral in the PMaker vaults to for PDAI
You
to
don't
peg.
need it? Why
No,
not?
you don't need it. No, no.
Okay,
Again,
why not?
because the peg comes from the liquidity pools, right? And because like the PDAI that has been minted, it cannot be used to liquidate like vault positions. Um, I mean, at least not for now. At least until there is collateral in the vault, right? So when there is collateral in the vault and it's working fine, blah blah blah, then it can be used like within the vault. But like right now it can't, and it doesn't matter if like Richard collateralizes the vault or not. That functionality won't work for Richard's position because even if he collateralizes the vault, it's going to be debt free, right? He's not going to borrow against his position, so you cannot liquidate his position. So again, like over collateralizing the vault, sure, like you could do that, but I think it's a waste of resources, honestly. I think there's much better use for like the way OA funds, if he wants to use the OA funds, right? Like being the market maker of Pulse Chain, right? And just assuring the peg through liquidity pools, which is much easier for him specifically.
Assuring the peg through liquidity pools. How does that work?
Buying pDAI when it's going down, basically.
With its pairs, you mean?
Yeah,
With its largest pairs?
sure.
That's all you have to do?
Yeah.
I think that's also what Sonny was saying at Sonny's Pub, right?
Yeah, that's literally the only thing you need to do is that. Like the rest is done by the market, right? Because like I'm sure there will be DeFi protocols appearing that will consume pDAI. Eventually, people will deposit into the micro vaults and mint like more pDAI, but then their positions
Okay.
will like go into liquidations, and they'll be able to use some like pDAI to to burn pDAI to get the collateral, etc. So,
Right.
but I think most of the pDAI will eventually be locked in liquidity positions and like DeFi protocols basically. That's why I think it will work, right? Otherwise,
Interesting.
otherwise there will be always huge volatility, right? But I think you'll have huge volatility, but at some point it will quiet down, I guess.
Gotcha. DJ Bomber says the peg cannot come from liquidity. How much liquidity would be needed for 22 billion, 23 billion?
Yeah, but again, like how much does Richard own of that, of that supply, right? And besides that, how much is going to DeFi protocols? I don't know, right? That's my point.
So you think a lot of these wallets are Richard?
I don't know, but I assume that a lot of the pDAI supply, will like belongs to Richard.
I mean, look, there's wallets. What do you think about these wallets? I mean, I know I'm up here. Yeah. What do you think about these? I mean, some of these are exchanges. I mean, you guys know that, right? Binance.
Sure.
How much pDAI does Binance hold, right?
So did you just dox yourself as one of the top holders of pDAI right now?
I wish I was up here, man. Everyone right now is wishing they'd bought
You're
more
up
pDAI.
here. You're up here. I'm writing to the tax office right now.
No, but look at no, but wait, go back up.
Yeah.
You need to understand the difference, right?
Right.
Like, look, the first one it has 2 billion, right? The second one it has 458 million,
Okay.
right?
But these are not normal wallets. These are
Sure, like the SIM contracts, I guess.
yeah. So, but here you've got a lot of wallets that have 300 million, quarter of a billion, 200 million, 150. I mean,
Yep.
probably quite a bit of these might be the Heartmans. You thinking?
I mean, I think a lot of, again, like he needs to own a lot of wallets if a lot of the supply is his, right? That kind of answers the question, I guess. But
If it's your plan to peg from the beginning,
Yeah.
you come prepared to the party, so to speak.
exactly,
Right?
yeah, exactly. And you're not gonna like mint everything from one wallet. I mean, why? That also doesn't make any sense, right? If you don't want people to immediately find out, right? I guess. But we know that the functionality worked, and we know the functionality stopped working. So like minting pDAI, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it can be turned and turned off by only one wallet that we assume is run by the Heartman, correct?
yes,
And it can be turned on in the future to mint more.
adding collateral, like that. This is the vote that they're doing like right now. The one that got approved. That's the
Yes.
vote for it, right? So that it
Okay.
can be like turned on again, basically.
Do we want it to be turned on again? Is that the idea that it's the money printer?
Yeah, you want that.
Yeah.
You want it to be turned on. Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So that people can add collateral and mint pDAI, right?
Right.
Because
right.
that's how a stablecoin works.
Everybody understands that, right?
I think so. I understand that people are a little bit
I don't
concerned, or
understand.
like,
I'm dumb, but I get
Yeah,
it. Kind of.
Chad, what's everyone confused about the most at this point? Like,
it's the
what still
liquidity
has
thing.
everyone?
It's the 22 billion and the liquidity part. How could he how could he possibly keep the peg, like knowing that there's so much pDAI afloat, right? But again, like I think that the peg will only happen after a lot of volatility. Like volatility means people like buying and selling. So if I have a lot of pDAI, right, and I sell pDAI, I don't have like the pDAI anymore, right? So this means
Right.
that the pDAI was distributed to other people, and when like those people sell, like this keeps happening, right? Like at some point it gets distributed enough that either it's not easy to move the price because you don't have that much supply, or because somebody keeps like starts buying it up, right? um, Again, and when this is of course like a lot to do with like people belief, right? Obviously, right?
Right. Obviously, yeah.
So yeah, obviously, right? So if people actually believe the narrative and they start buying the pDAI, like I mean,
Yeah.
it's much easier, right? For like one entity that like if one entity wanted to help the price, like move up, and like the narrative is like pDAI to one, etc., right? So I mean that's my point. Like it will reach one, it will go back down, reach one, go back down, blah blah, blah, like do these a number of times, and eventually it's possible that, right, somebody can like manage that liquidity, in a sense that it can kind of keep the peg afloat because there's not enough sellers to that can fuck up the liquidity pools. That's my point. But you need a lot of volatility until that can be achieved.
Out of these wallets, how many of them do you think don't even know they have this still?
That's a good question.
What percentage of people here don't even know this is happening right now?
Probably a lot.
His latest tweet. pDAI, what, this one? Let's put on a little bit of oh, that's what I'm looking for. Is it? A little bit. All right. Well, Somi is wrong. The wallet that voted was not RH. It bought PMaker from PulseX.
Could be.
You mean this wallet over here?
I think that wallet looks like the other one. I've seen that EA address, like,
this is
but it
very
can be
familiar
like
to
a
me.
similar one. Yeah, but again, I didn't check like all the numbers, right? So it just seems like the address, right? I'm very clear on that. Like, I didn't go to the fucking blockchain to make sure that that was the address, just to be 100% clear, right?
Got you. Somebody asked, this is like BankX. This is like the BankX and money printer MakerDAO before the inflation. This is like the bank and money printer before the inflation.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
sure. It's a way to put it. Sure.
Crypto Neptune feels that. What's up, Crypto Neptune? How you doing, man? He's got a very cool channel. He says soon pDAI will take over the world and all of mankind. Evil laugh.
Oh, sorry, sound out of breath there.
It's certainly going to take over crypto. This is quite a phenomenon. Let's go touch base on this chart really quick. Okay.
And like guys, I think like only like just because it's the like largest airdrop, we should expect a lot of volatility, right? Like you were saying, Wolf, like the people who don't even know that they have like this money here, right? When they come here, they're gonna sell, right? They're not gonna stay here. Like a lot of them are gonna sell. So we need to expect that, and that is an opportunity, right, to buy cheaper,
right?
Because it will go back higher, right?
Yeah.
Hey guys, do you want to look a little bit at Ethereum price and a little bit of ETH to BTC, because that's also some really exciting macro stuff.
Yeah. 1 second. C3 Works said, here's the key point. Is there any question RH is behind this? It's not just a random meme coin, right? I kind of answered this before, but I do feel people really want to hear this answered in different ways for confirmation. I don't think there's any answer that can solidly give you definitive proof. That's the thing.
Yep.
And that's the reason it's not at $1. That's a reason there's still 40x left in this tank. Now, can you sum it up again for us, Pedro? Why do you think it's the Hartman behind this? Besides the theory of the P copies, what's your the closest you have to proof? Is it the wallets?
Yeah, like for me, it's none of that. It's like just just my feeling of RH, like the feeling that you would never build Pulse chain like without a plan, right? And the most important part of the plan is the fucking airdrop, right? Because it's the thing that he focused like on the most, right? When he was launching Pulse chain. So I'm sure that he has thought of a plan, right? And like he kept saying, like he kept talking about the parity, he kept talking about like the value of the PRC20. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that that was a big part of his plan, because he was always talking about that part, right? So I mean, that's my reasoning. Honestly, we can go to the blockchain, and I'm sure that again the people who made the changes to the PMaker, to the PMaker, to Wave, to a bunch of protocols, right? They had to have, right, like a pretty deep understanding of how Pulse chain works, right? And like how many people did at the time, right? I mean, you could work with the test nets, etc., but it's not the same fucking thing, right? Like the amount of protocols and the amount of work that had to be done at launch, it's insane, right? Like sure, like some other guy could have done, sure, absolutely, a team, sure, but the like probabilities, right? But again, for me, it's like simpler. It's like Richard Hart is a fucking genius, and obviously he thought of a plan, right? He wouldn't just like, oh guys, like world largest airdrop, and just like fuck it all, and like I don't care. Like, it makes no sense, right? To me, obviously, personal opinion, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think so. I don't know. What do you guys feel? Is that enough? There's nothing really that we can, I mean, obviously Decentralize Me and 9iron, they've traced and tracked the wallets. For me, I was satisfied with that because those were wallets that had interacted very early on in the phase of Pulse chain. Now, is that not enough proof for people? Or why is that a point of contention for so many people out there? That's what I don't understand.
Because it's like they're married to their bags, bro. It's like maybe they didn't believe in the PRC20. It's like they were like, okay, I got my X bags, my PLX bags, but whatever, my ink bags, and those are the important tokens. Like, why, bro? Like RH created all these tokens. It's like, why are those more important? I don't get it. And look, man, I built a stablecoin for Hex. Like for staked Hex, and I'm promoting pDAI, right? Because it makes sense. It's like it's a RH coin as much as X is, right? It's not, X is not better or worse. It is what it is. It's like both are coins created by the same man, right? So yeah, that's my feelings about it, right? And they have a huge X bag, right? But it is what it is. People are marry their bags, and I understand that. Oh, for me, it would be much better if X pumped like 10X. Right, or if X had pumped like what pDAI pumped, it would have been much better for me and my bag. But it is what it is. That's not why I'm here, right? I want the gains, right? But I also want to understand the innovation, how this shit will work, like the plan that RH had, like that. That's what gets me excited, to be honest. Like the price, sure, of course. Like, did I buy the right tokens? Did I buy the token that will pump the hardest? Of course, that matters to me, of course. But it's not only that, right?
Pedro, can I ask you a quick question? I know we had Ivan on Tech, and even Eric Wall talking about the whole pDAI thing.
Yeah.
Have we got any other outside people, influencers outside of Pulse chain now, kind of reacting to this?
But are you asking how or if? Sorry, I didn't get it.
No, I'm sorry. The question was, I know we had Eric Wall and who's the other guy I just mentioned? But we had a few other. Yeah, a few other people outside of Pulse chain who are kind of talk to Pulse chain people, aware of this pDAI move. I know it was covered by Ivan on Tech. Are we seeing any other influencers kind of starting to talk about this pDAI thing? Because I think that's what we want to see, right?
Yeah, man. I think 100%. The higher that pDAI goes, the more people that will be that will flock to it, right? Because we know that people love green candles, right? So everybody loves to buy green candles. So the closer that pDAI is to 1. the more people that will be talking about it, like coming to Pulse Chain to sell their like whatever they have, right? To check if they have copies. Yeah.
So is it useful for us as a community right now to be going on the socials and telling people they have a free copy?
Yeah,
right?
more money than this. This is nothing.
Sorry.
Is it useful for us to, if we want to pump our bags with pDAI, is it useful for us to go on the Twitter right now and let people know they've got possibly some free pDAI sitting in their wallet?
100%.
Is that what we should be doing right now? Yeah.
Yes. Like because like think about
text, right? They're going to have some pDAI.
Yeah, and like it's awesome. Like if they come here and they sell, it's good because they're gonna be selling earlier, like rather than later, right? That's what we want, don't we? Want these believers to come here sooner, so that they can dump the chart sooner, so that we can pump harder later, right? So yeah, that's a win-win, of course.
Yeah. That's a lot of concern for a lot of people, is that people are going to come over to dump, but.
Yeah,
from what we know, the market don't do that. If they see something in a parabolic uptrend with a narrative, the reason they will come over to participate will be to probably invest more, not to sell it. So I think the sell pressure will be less than the buy pressure. You know?
I hope so, man. I hope
because
so.
If you think about it, if someone's watched a video about pDAI and thought to himself, "Oh, I had a few $100. Oh, maybe it's copied over." Do you think they're going to run over just to sell a couple $100? No, they're probably going to come in to participate. And once they're on the chain, even if they do yeet out, once they're on the Pulse chain,
that's a good point, man. Very good point.
Now got a new user on Pulse chain. I think that's the takeaway, right?
Bro, that's a very good take. That's a very, very, very good take, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
I always assume that people are coming here to sell, right? But that's a very positive take, and I like it a lot.
Milady isn't flying; it is going to heaven. God.
Nice.
Wow. Oh, wow. It was completely dead. Hang on a second. Let me see what's going on. Okay, so somebody said, I want you guys to say that point again. Did Bitcoin get some coke?
No, but Sammy, that was an extremely good point, honestly.
Yeah, and Sammy, we got you. Sam, we've got you a name tag finally too.
There we go.
Yeah. We got you one. As soon as you got the name tag, you got smarter. So what? Oh, I like the black. You're now doing black. You did a costume change.
I thought I'd wear the pink one for how do I put this? For kind of admitting I was wrong about the pDAI thing.
Got you.
But now I'm dressed as a PLS bank robber.
Okay. Bulwark, a couple months.
Well, look. Like, think about. Remember because another thing, like for example, even if people come here to sell, like what happened with Hex, right? Hex was given for free to Bitcoin holders, right? I minted a bunch of free Hex, right? And I know a lot of people who minted a lot of free Hex and then dumped the Hex, right? Like what happened to those guys? They bought like more Hex like 1 year later or something, right? Because they were like, shouldn't have sold. Why? Like I'm so stupid, etc. Right? It's like it also has that effect, right? Maybe if they sell like sooner, they'll buy back later because it happens too, right?
Okay, Pedro. Let's say you met someone, right, a friend of yours, and they finally want to, because the bull market's come around, they've ignored you for the last 2 years about Pulse Chain, about X, and they come to you and say, Pedro, I've got $5,000. Where do I allocate it onto Pulse Chain? What would be your advice to that person? I'll start if you want.
That's a very good question, man. I would probably say, like don't like distribute your risk, right? Like buy a bunch of coins on Pulse Chain, right? Like I don't know, just look at the chart, like the market caps and buy the top ones. I don't know. I would tell them something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or I could tell them the ones that I got, and they could buy the ones that I got. I don't know.
I don't know you guys. I'm getting that question all the time, which is a good thing. It shows we have got adoption happening right now. It's not just kind of whale pumping this thing. pDAI is helping right now. Teddy Bear's helping right now, because I think, again, to go back to Teddy Bear, I think what we're seeing here is we saw loads of meme coins try to do stuff in the last couple of years on Pulse Chain. But what we're learning now from the market is we have our premium, most liquidated, well-known meme token, and that's really starting to work for us. So I think the pDAI thing, that's working for us too. We don't necessarily have to sell Hex and RH tokens to get people into this chain anymore. So I think stuff like pDAI, stuff like Teddy Bear is great.
Teddy Bear is gonna. Yeah.
We got a whole new way of onboarding people, is what I'm trying to say, rather than doing it through the Hex cell, through the PLS cell.
People don't have any more Hex to sell, bro. That's the thing. They already sold everything. That's why the ratio is so fucked up. That's the truth, right?
Yeah. No, it's oversold, man. It's been.
So what happened to Armstrong here in the video you got? Did he capitulate and just? I know he's making videos.
No, it was a draw. They tied him and Ansem. They tied.
Right?
Yeah, it was a tie. Yeah. One judge was 30. The first judge gave 39-37 for Ansem. The second judge was 38-38, and the third judge was 38-38. So it was a draw.
Okay.
And yeah. All right.
I heard on Twitter that he stopped supporting was it Bro Token on Pulse Chain? Like, a lot of people are angry that he
had Daddy on his shorts.
Daddy.
So now he's with Andrew Tate, I guess, right? Isn't that Andrew Tate?
Bro, but like, why would anybody follow that guy? Honestly, I don't get it. I mean, he's like entertainment, like this, right? But like, like he's an idiot, right?
Worst fight. Oh, dude, the audience went crazy. They were booing. They were like crazy. Wait, I mean, you know what? They got in the ring, man. Like, that's all I have to say to people.
I respect that. I respect that. I respect that.
You get in the ring. Like, you get in the ring. Yeah. Like, it's not easy. It's not just whether you can box. It's like you're surrounded by people. Like, if you've ever talked to fighters or boxers, like one of my trainers was a boxer, and he told me, he's like, he got pretty high, but he's like, I couldn't actually handle the publicity, like being in the ring with the lights. I remember him telling me, like, I couldn't fight with the lights and people yelling at me. Like, dude, it's pretty intense. And
it's like doing music or stand-up comedy. It's like your friends say you're a funny guy. You go on stage and there's lights in your eyes.
Except it's painful. Except they're pumping him so he can breathe because his blood is filled with fucking blood. His nose is filled with blood. That never happened to me playing guitar on a stage. I'll tell you that right now. But no, people were booing hard. They didn't like the fight. People didn't like the fact that it was a draw. I mean, it wasn't the most exciting fight, but man.
Was this a recent fight? Because I know he did one a while ago. Is this a recent fight he did?
Yeah, it just happened.
And who did he fight?
Ansem.
Who's that guy? Is he from another chain?
He's an influencer, right? I think.
You can blame BitBoy for denouncing Bro after Hexy bastard stole money from the co. Hexy drained wallets on CoinQuest, stole money from his own investors.
Yeah,
I don't know the details of all that.
I'm seeing this stuff come up a lot. While we're on some live streams recently, I've seen a lot of stuff come out. People moaning about 9-inch related tokens. I'm not aware of that sort of stuff. I'm not sure if you guys are. I don't really know enough to talk about that. But it seems that
I don't know what's going on. Yeah,
I think they're just frustrated with the price performance. I mean, I know those tokens have been underperforming right now. But I don't.
Is CoinQuest like pump.fun, something like that? Is that it? No. Or is it like the prediction thing?
CoinQuest? He actually drained what? CoinQuest. I don't know what CoinQuest is. Are you thinking of CoinQuest? I know what CoinQuest. So he says Hart has voted yes to pegging. It's a poll. Remember, however, it is Richard Hart. Remember, this is a poll because only he could have taken control of Pulse Maker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not only him, right? Like, I mean, it's not like Richard. It's like only him could take control. I mean, it's probabilities, right? Like, probably yes. In terms of probabilities, yes, it is more probable that it was him, but we never know, right? But I believe it was him, right? I'm not saying that it wasn't him. I don't think it's that site, by the way.
This is definitely
that one. I don't think it's that one that they wrote.
Chad, you guys got to send us links, man. We got so much going on as it is. You got to help us out here. And somebody else was too asking about something to look up. Man, just send a link to a chart. We got to make sure we know people though. Oh, DRT is the next Teddy Bear on Pulse Chain. Dirt, tons of liquidity player. I don't know.
CoinQuest is the pump.fun copy, or
it's yes, yeah. And so he stole money from them. What?
I don't know.
Good.
I never participated, so no
like
idea.
stole.
Yeah, I think we have to be careful in participation. drama and stuff we don't know, because
Yeah.
without people here to represent themselves.
Yeah, that's not. I don't like that. I never talk shit about people behind their back. I just won't do it. So yeah, you guys, we got to wait till he's here, and then you can bring it up, and we can hear his point of view, because I don't know.
And honestly, I can nothing vouch for saying Wolf. When I came on here 6 months ago or whatever it was, when Wolfie was starting out, I made some accusations, but Wolfie made sure he invited every single person that I mentioned on that stream. He gave them a fair chance to represent himself.
So, nobody wanted to come. Nobody wanted to come. I reached out to every single person to talk about it. Yeah, because
and talking boxing, I did. Gunther reappeared as a Hex OG, and he said, "Oh, I'll fight anyone that wants to criticize me." And I said to him, "Listen, I'll fly out to New York. I'll tie one hand behind my back, and we'll have a boxing match." And he deleted his account.
I remember that.
So, yeah, I got respect for anyone that wants to get in a ring to stand up for themselves with what they believe.
After that stream we did together, which was, I think, one of my early conversations on chain streams, one of the first ones, and some crazy guy reached out to me and was threatening me to like pull down the stream, and it was pretty crazy. I was like, "Well, what did I get? Yeah. What did I step into?"
I had there's a lot of people in that protocol. In Pulse Bitcoin, there was a lot of money going into that thing at the time. It was the largest traded token after the RH tokens for about 2 weeks.
It was
a lot of people behind it, and yeah, it was the first kind of rug pull essentially on the whole Pulse chain, which was a large top 5, top 10 token. So yeah, we were all suffering. We all, it was the first kind of 99% token on the chain. So it obviously, there was many millions of dollars put into that by many different people, and it was painful for a lot of people. So there was a lot of hate going on, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of and I was at the forefront of that.
I'd like to see it come back. Yeah, I'd like to see it come back for sure.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think what we all see now is a lot of these tokens go through that. Tell me
it happens. Yeah,
through a 90% retrace. I mean, pretty much every token is going to go through a retrace, and quite often, some people in the chat are upset with certain people and other people. There are rug pulls, but what I would say is, what I've learned from this whole experience is, when you're investing in a token, you do have to look at who owns the large majority of a token. Who are the whales?
Right.
Is there a buy and sell tax? How long has it been going on? And for something like Hex or Pulse Chain, yes, Richard Hart or accounts closely related to him, we assume is owned by him. But you look to his previous work with eHex, and you look at his character, and you make a judgment based on that.
Yeah.
But I think 100%. A lot of other tokens that people go into on Pulse Chain, they don't have the same level of trust or the amount of hours on screen to build that trust with someone. So I think you've got to be very careful when you do go into these altcoins. Really get to know kind of who you're working with and who's got the liquidity. Is the liquidity owned by 3 people? And if it is so, fine. Don't put your life savings into it, even with PLSB, I tell people, if you've got 100 grand, put in 2 grand. No more than that,
What's going on? Nothing's moving. Maybe people are trying to sell into it, expecting a pump.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's some whales waiting to exit.
Well, do you know what? Have you looked at ETH right now? ETH is pumping. ETH is pumping pretty hard.
It's barely moving.
ETH is pumping pretty hard. Yeah.
Okay, let's go look. Okay, Jasmine, fine. Okay, let's go look.
But pDAI is still pumping a bit. Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah, so we just broke that resistance, as you see on your chart there, and on my chart, we were in a triangle formation, which we broke out of at $3,570. We bounced off it for 4 days. I see a measure move right now. I see Ethereum going to $7,000 in a time frame. Hard to say time frame, but I would say by February is my guess. I think we're going to $7,000 on ETH.
We're going to 1618. So you think that's it?
I haven't measured that as a Fibonacci, but it would be interesting to see.
It's a 1618. Yeah, on it.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, makes sense. But the only thing, I mean, obviously, my concern right now, the only concern, I mean, obviously I'm not concerned. This is pumping. This is great. And earlier in the video, we looked at the CBBI. You can see that we're at 80, which is historically right when things get extraordinarily fun in the crypto market, where small talk goes out the window. We all lose our minds. So we're in that territory right now. So you can expect things to get quite crazy right about now.
Can you do a very quick exercise, Wolf? Can you see, like, for example, no, on that chart that, exactly. Like, how long does it last after 80%? How long does it last? Like 1 month, 2 months?
Well, you
how
can
long?
see. Here's the thing. I
That's
remember
January
in January
until April, right?
2021.
And then the peak, more or less.
Yeah, it went from there all the way up to in the high 90s.
Yeah, March, April, exactly. Yeah.
And it lasts through the spring, which is normal. Sell in May and go away. We had this dump, but remember this summer, I think still a lot of alts did some damage. I think this was it Pepe? No, SHIB. Let me think. So there was some things running this summer, and then we had another run here, and I think Hex ran around here on this second bump up. And once again, it got up to 80, and that was it. It didn't go higher anymore. But definitely a lot of things went absolutely crazy through all this. So really it lasted, like you could say, like alt season was like literally from January 2021 to like when this fell apart, December, so 1 year. Lasted 1 year. With the summer being a little bit slow, but stuff still ran through this. But this was a crazy shakeout. This is nuts, right?
You know what I noticed on that chart? It seems that it's widening. The duration of the altcoin season, it's kind of widening. Like, look at 2013, it's very thin, and then 2014 it's a little bit wider. On 2017 it's much wider, right? Like the time that you have like between the 80 and whatever, and like the top, right? And on the 2021 it's like, as you said, like 3 months or whatever, right? That's kind of
maybe
new,
you're right.
So,
yeah, maybe we have a very thick alt season where everything's going to run really hard for.
Guys, my concern about all this is if we go back to some fundamental analysis, right? So, I mean, like real stuff happening in the world. We try and look at the world and do our analysis. If we were just looking at charts all day, I would 100% agree with you. I think that we are going to have a good alt season this year. And what I mean by that is this current alt season pumping till at least January, let's say March of this year. Obviously a sell-off, and then getting a second wave of an alt season, like we did.
It's very possible.
The run before. But my concern is this on a fundamental level.
Isn't this already the second wave though already right now?
Well, no, this is the first wave. Because the one back in February we had where we saw stuff like Pepe got 200%.
All the memes, yeah.
That was that's not really. I wouldn't count that as start of the bull run. That was just.
It wasn't crazy. It wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
Enough.
So what I'm saying is
we needed more.
My concern is with the altcoin market is, yes, even if we see Bitcoin just complete powerhouse up and even ETH powerhouse up with government money coming in and whatnot.
Yeah.
My concern is if the retail investor, like in the UK right now, it's getting very, very hard to get your money from your bank account into crypto. I'm not sure it's the same in other countries. So my concern is we're not going to see the same amount of retail yeeting into altcoins if it's difficult on ramp. How much that affects the market, I don't know. But I think what will be key in continuation of this altcoin pump will be if the US government eases regulation and kind of almost invites that retail investor to get involved in the market. So I think we might see a pullback based on kind of what's going on when Trump comes into office.
I agree.
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that. No idea. Could be.
But as a guide, I mean, I'm trying to tell my friends that we have to prepare. I think somebody mentioned this the other day. We have to prepare for the unlikely event that we don't follow trend in this next run, and that potentially we have a short bull run. So we have to prepare for the worst case scenario. So we have to prepare the fact that we don't get a normal market cycle where we go into bull market till November. We have to prepare.
We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about that quite a bit on this channel a lot. That we may only have a couple months left, 6 weeks to a couple months left, and the reason is this isn't a sustainable move. Okay, so this is what's called a hyperwave, and Bitcoin moves like this, and you're in full hyperwave right now. Okay, and can they pump this up some more? Sure, they could, but it's not sustainable for very long. And everything else is at record all-time highs. Every indicator has smashed a record. I mean, we are just crushing everything. And how long is that sustainable for? Well, not very long. And the bond market's also signaling not good news. But you're right about them putting out other narratives that can kind of sustain it for longer than we expect. But how much longer, right? Like a lot of...
But Wolfie, what I'm trying to say is, if we get the macro governments and macro big business and BlackRock and Maker all putting massive bids onto Bitcoin, and let's say 10% of that filters through to Ethereum, the reason the altcoin markets pumped before was mainly retail. So what we might see is a huge pump up and maintaining in price on Bitcoin and even ETH, but do we get that transfer of users over to DeFi? Because that's for people in Pulse Chain. Yes, of course, Richard's going to make a huge amount of money, and our whale's going to make a huge amount of money, and all of us who are kind of significant people in Pulse Chain will be making our money on the other networks and taking that transfer over. So we are going to have massive pumps, and we're not going to follow the normal market cycle. We will outperform. But the point I'm trying to make is, will that government and big business money that goes into Bitcoin transfer into the alt market like before? And I don't think it will.
I don't think it will either.
No. So I think a lot of us were expecting for this bull run for there to be a big transfer of economic energy from Bitcoin to ETH. If we see that, I'll be a bit more bullish. But yeah, that's my concern.
Can I bring this up? I wanted to keep the energy up high for this stream, but it's not really bad news. I think it's in the charts. But I might as well share it with you since Fat Sammy brought this up. So my concern, and I didn't bring this up on the ETH chart because I don't want to scare everybody, but look, it's in the charts. I might as well show it to you. So this measured move for ETH, for me, puts us up at 48.40, okay? Now, sure, the 1618 is up here at 7.3, 7.4, but what else is at 48.40? I think some of you guys that look at charts know. Well, it was the high of the last bull run. That gives you a perfect double top. So that's a concern because this literally is going, that's the target. And whenever these play out in inverse head and shoulders or head and shoulders, you've got a big bounce when the target is hit. So in this case, it would be down, and it being a double top, unless big narratives come out right here, this could have quite a fall, which is going to spell not good things for altcoins. But the good here, now here's the silver lining on this, is that we are a little bit disconnected in the sense that if he does peg, we could have quite a bit of run on our own, okay? But is he completely dependent on ETH price to do this, Pedro?
A little bit.
How much? Like what happens if we double top in ETH?
I can say on that trade, every dollar that Ethereum moves up, every dollar it moves up, it makes $3,600 every dollar.
That's good math.
But is this enough? Look, if this was a top of ETH, let's say this was a top, and looking at this chart, like it looks like, I mean, this is the only thing that scares me, that it looks like a classic double top in some ways. But narratives could come up right now that we can't foresee. But how much higher does it need to go?
I think it is going to blast through that. Honestly,
I agree.
That's my hope. Right?
It could be. Of course, it could be. Sure.
There's no. Yeah. Listen, when you see previous resistance line, yes, of course, if it's a previous top, there is resistance there. But if it's been hit 2 or 3 times, it hasn't. It's been hit once. I don't see that as a threat at all. It'll blast straight through it.
You shouldn't pretend it doesn't exist, though. I mean, we're hoping that the right narratives come out, which they would. I mean, everything's lining up really strong. We are, but if we're in a hyperwave, we're going to push up pretty hard, which means we're going to release a lot of energy.
Let me ask you a different question, maybe, Wolf, just to put things into perspective. Let's go back 1 year ago and ask you, what's easier, Bitcoin breaking 100K or ETH breaking all-time high?
if you had asked me a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
1 year ago, I was sitting here, I was thinking, what's going to go up first? Bitcoin going to 100K or ETH? Okay. I think BTC going to 100, and here's why. And once again, I don't mean to go down a bearish slope. Somebody said something to me that BlackRock wants to keep everybody in BTC. Somebody, I don't remember who I was talking to. I don't remember if it was a friend at a hedge fund or who. And they were sharing some alpha. They said, look, BlackRock is going to keep everybody in BTC, and they're not going to let people rotate into alts like before or Ethereum like before. Okay. And also another guy I counter trade is this guy, Raul Paul, who consistently spreads like, if I just counter trade that guy, I seem to do well. And he's like extraordinarily bullish on Ethereum, which always concerns me because I feel like he's been paid by like BlackRock to send like, you know, to like pretend he like is on the side of crypto when actually he's there to seem like he knows what's going on, but actually he's there to like move the herd in the wrong direction.
Macro. He's the macro guy.
Yeah, the macro guy. Yeah, exactly. You know Raul Paul, right? So,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
so yeah, this person told me this. This was like a year ago, and what else did they say? They said they're going to try to. Oh, they're not. They don't want all the alts to people to make money in alts. Now I don't know if that's true. I don't know how this is going to line up or how this affects us because I do feel like we are a bit. You know, we're not independent. Guys, we don't have a peg stable yet. We don't have a money printer, so to speak, yet. But if ETH, let's say, doesn't go into all-time highs, how affected are we, Pedro or Chad? What do you guys think? I don't know.
I've got to say this about it. You got to think of it 3 different revenue streams. Bitcoin is now establishment, right? You're definitely getting money flowing into there. And the question is, do we get the normal flow we get of a percentage going from Bitcoin institutional money, aka, into Ethereum? Now we have the ETFs. That's helpful. Yeah. Now we've got more big brands, governments building their centralized digital currencies on Ethereum network. Even banks, JP Morgan, building on Ethereum. So that gives me the indication that yes, we will see inflow into Ethereum. Now, the third question is...
Now, remember, this person told me this a year ago. I'm not concerned about it now because we're lining up. Also, I did see the news this morning that large flows are going into the ETF. Thanks, Money Gang. What's happening, man? This came out today, so maybe they are gonna push up ETH. I mean, ETH is pushing up, and there's no reason it shouldn't go up. And there's no reason what somebody said to me a year ago is applying now. I was just bringing it up based on the points we were making, but I'm not convinced of that. You know, I'm not saying that's what's happening by any stretch of the imagination. Biggest inflow to the start of the ETF. Okay, so this is all great bullish news. And like I said, the narratives are going to come in. That's what I was mentioning. Like, we don't know what narratives are going to slowly kick in that are going to, where we'll blast through this, and this double top scenario is not going to be a concern. And I agree with that. I do believe we're going to have an outrageous alt season. The question just is, like we said earlier, how is it 3 months or is it 9 months? I don't know. That I don't know.
1 month.
Or 1 month.
Well, I would say
a lot can happen in 2 months.
If we check historical data, and you want to go on technical analysis, if you're investing generally in a let's say an average token like REN, Storage, Pepe, Mogcoin, one of those Ethereum based or mainstream kind of altcoins, I would say you probably have a 90-day window due to technical analysis to assume, based on historical data, a 90-day kind of run at this point where you can kind of roughly be safe. What happens after that? So that's going to be what? That's going to be probably... So before that, we have Trump coming into office end of January. So I say you're pretty much guaranteed for a nice run up until end of January. Let's see if any black swan events come in from the political kind of narrative. But yeah, I would say it's a good time to go long right now on altcoins. I wouldn't be afraid right now. I think we're having a good run, and it's going to continue to end of January.
I'm not that concerned right now. Yeah, exactly. I feel the same. I think we're going to pump pretty hard into the new year.
The drop off like BTCD, exactly. It's just starting to drop off now.
And there's too many people talking about black swans and this and that, so I don't think anything's going to happen.
Me neither.
Do you want to bring up the ETH to BTC, Wolfie, so we can have a quick look at that before we move on?
Okay, let's look at that. And And Kay Hudson, we're gonna talk about that as soon as we look at this chart.
You've got no sell orders until the previous high, where they max out. You see that on your other indicator there you got on the right. There's no resistance up until previous all-time high, which is a 46% move.
All right, nice. I mean, yeah. I mean, dominance is falling. We're looking good. I mean, ETH is running. BTC is just hanging out. Let's see what it did. Yeah. Okay, so they're rotating. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Total market cap is up another 3.5% today, which is all the money coming in crypto. So we're looking good there on total market cap. At this point, we shouldn't really care what Bitcoin does. Like for Pulsicans right now, we don't care if Bitcoin ranges for another 2 weeks. We don't care if it goes up. We don't want it dropping, sure, but do we care if it pumps up to 112k? Not really. I want to see it maintain price.
Well, we had a question from, I think it was, I don't remember who, but they wanted to know time frame for pegging. Let's talk about time frames.
Well, I would say a time frame for pegging, if you believe that some of that capital needs to come from certain people, then you want to see ETH run. If ETH runs, your sacrifice money is doing what it's supposed to do.
That's right.
It means the RH man is achieving what he has publicly shown you. He's probably winning in all sorts of other games in the background, but yeah, you want to see what we're showing here on the charts. You want to see ETH run,
Right.
and then then everyone else is going to see publicly that RH's trade is in profit, and we're going to have some fun times.
So Money Gang is feeling that we're going to have a full normal bull run that would take us into the fall. He's saying top end of 2025. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Sure. A lot can rotate out of the stock market as well. That is, it's all about these narratives that start kicking in as we get into the new year with the Trump administration. And if they just keep this ball rolling, we certainly could. And let's go back and see DAI, what's going on. Okay, we got some movement.
Yeah, your audience, I'm reading the chat here, your audience just want to talk pure pDAI.
Yeah, you were
smart audience.
No, I mean, look, we looked at ETH. It's breaking.
It's become the pDAI king, bro.
It's we've been tracking it for a long time over here. I mean, look, ETH is breaking out, no doubt about it. BTC dominance has plummeted. We're good.
Look at what Herbert is saying. When RH does nothing, you guys are going to hate. Look, Herbert, I'm not expecting RH to do anything. That's the point. That's literally the fucking point of Pulsion, right? It's like to not expect anything, right? At least for me. So, the community is doing something, and that's what excites me. The fact that there's a possibility, right? It's a narrative, it's a story, right? That's I think that's what's cool about the pDAI story, right? At the end of the day, nobody knows if it's gonna peg. Nobody knows if if this experiment is gonna work, right?
But I think the pDAI goes back to the whole narrative.
The chat.
Yeah.
What did RH say at the start? He wanted people to come and get their free copies.
Sure, exactly.
He did.
So
he did, yeah. pDAI's leading the charge right now. Whether he's behind it or not, pDAI is leading the charge. We're getting
exactly.
And look at Pepe right now, the copy of Pepe on Pulse Chain. That shit's been pumping. So we know this works.
OA value versus pDAI supply. Pulse Chain is 10 billion, PulseX 7 billion, Hex is 15 billion, totals 32 billion, supply 23 billion. Over 137%. Yeah, at current prices, 137% over collateralized. MakerDAO's mechanisms have been tested. The poll is nearing completion. Pegs could be weeks away. There was another tweet. Okay, let's go look at this one too.
Hey, Wolfie, you'll be careful when you go on a date Because if someone Googles you, they'll be like, "What's all this pegging stuff about?"
It's pretty hairy, man.
Every time I
Okay,
Google
Hex.
you, man, something about pegging
Hex.
comes up, and I heard that was kind of gay.
I disagree. Springtime. Yeah. Yeah. This is the debate. How long? But even if it's only 3 months, a lot can happen. We don't know how long they're going to run this. They seem to be running it pretty hot. You can see what they've done with BTC. Unless you're thinking, we're going to 250,000. All right. Here's the other tweet. Lady, I want to see the. All right. A Hex OG who's creating a wrapped Pulse DAI ETH liquidity pool on Uniswap, a nod to the route to fiat, where I expect 170K Ethereum SAC funds to be placed. A core coin whale voted 555 PMaker and sent us on a trail to a token dedicated to the freedom of speech. An OG eMaker whale made his presence known and demonstrated that he won't stand in the way of the peg, expressing his neutrality by voting to abstain. Now what? We have 3 routes to peg. Konenstein is able to develop the full code for the executive vote. The community then puts the executive vote live. 2, Richard duplicates our GitHub, adds a code, and creates a merge request. The community then puts the exec vote live. And then 3, Richard takes the poll as the indication to implement the executive proposal on his side. The community gets pegged. The community get pegged with no further action. If it is DB 3, then we're effectively already at the executive vote. The peg could happen at any moment. Now this is
but again, look, because I think that part is what confuses people, right? Because when you say like the peg could happen at any, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, does it mean that the people will buy up the coin and it's one now, or does it mean that now you can have collateral and mint pDAI, like in like that is worth like 85% of the amount that you put in collateral, right? Like the logic of PMaker, right? The logic of Maker, right? So that's why I think it's a bit confusing for people, right? Because when I see like it's going to peg in 6 weeks, I don't think that it will happen like that, right? I don't think that it can even happen like that.
Exactly. You have to be responsible in promoting kind of like when we promote Hex, we promote Pulse Chain. A lot of people say it's a scam, but at least we have resources where we can say, these are the people, there's the money behind it, there's the sacrifice money, this is what's going on. I think we're at the early stages of this kind of amazing thing we're seeing with pDAI, but we have to be responsible for exploitation. So I think, bridging over some pDAI to Ethereum chain, adding liquidity will be a great move. So if the community want to do that, I think that's a great idea.
So Pulse Wrap Bitcoin is looking good. Do you remember when I drew this on the live the other night? I did this W, and look at that. It's just following it perfectly. Didn't come back for that double bottom, but it's looking good. I don't think this falls apart either. And this looks like it's starting to move. We see a little bit of movement here on DAI. So, linear supply. Teddy's about to break out like crazy. It's about to go nuts. We are looking ultra bullish, gentlemen. This looks absolutely beautiful.
Can we check PLS to wrapped ETH? See how we're doing on PLS strength, because PLS to USD means nothing. We really want to see wrapped PLS to ETH. That's how we can really see the ultimate strength on Pulse Chain. Or PLS. Let me find it. Okay, so try WPLS. You got it. Yeah. How are we doing here?
Yeah, beautiful W.
So obviously we're paired with ETH, so ETH is going to drag
right.
us up through Hart's Law. But if ETH goes on its run, which we expect it to, because it's been so undersold, if we can kind of stay strong against ETH and ETH is in an uptrend, man, we're really going to have that blast through sacrifice rates, which we expect on Pulse Chain, and that will drag all of our other tokens up. Let's see what magic Wolfie sees on this chart.
I mean, it's pretty much the Pulse chart. Looking
Yeah, I
really
mean,
good.
if you look at that, if you look
Taking
at that
us to
target
sack.
price, you look at that target price you just put there. Last time we tested that, we went straight through it, right? We went straight up to 000150. I mean, there's not much historical resistance there. If ETH goes on a run, I see us really flying through really quickly with Pulse here. It's starting to get coverage on some main channels now. Even what's his name, Mitch Ray, has been covering it. He hates Pulse Chain like many influencers, but they're seeing it on their charts and they're calling a bullish movement on this. I think what's going to happen is we're going to move up very quickly in the next few weeks, and we're going to kind of leave a lot of people behind.
Yeah, this is going to continue up. Yeah, 100%. What's PulseX doing right now? Titan X about to hit 1,000x. Is that true? From the bottom?
Yeah, we can look at Titan X. I mean, I've heard a few people that kind of left Pulse Chain to go to Titan X. I think a lot of them
guys. Sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna pull a hack tour. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm kidding. I gotta run because one of my kids is like crying a lot. I think he's a little bit sick, so I'm gonna help my wife. So if you don't mind, sorry.
Yeah. This is a DAI stream, so maybe we'll do after hours and we can go look at more charts later. But I think this was awesome. Chat, thanks so much for sticking around and contributing. This was really cool. I'll end once again with the Heartman.
Hi, everybody. Richard Hart here. If you're thinking of selling, I have some advice for you. Close your fist up real tight, then punch yourself in the sacks over and over again until you stop thinking like that. Hi, everybody. Richard Hart here. If you're thinking of selling, I have some advice for you. Close your fist up real tight, then punch yourself.
So you guys got to stay in. This is not the time to get scared. Everything's looking amazing. Everything is lining up incredibly right now. You know, I don't know what the full verdict is going to be with this. We got to keep our eye. I don't think we break down. I think you're going to see surprise green candles coming up anytime now. And this is already moving. This is already starting to move. So that's good. Pedro, how fast is it going to move?
Well, daily just closed, and it looks like you're trying to break out of your bull flag there, so it could break tomorrow.
Yeah, it could move really fast, I think.
I think it could move really fast. I mean, you got this textbook W. This is not breaking down. Don't listen to anybody. Yeah, let's touch base again. Gentlemen, thank you. Pedro, Fat Sammy.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, chat, for the questions, too. It was good.